Imagine this. Two companies. One hands you a 200-page handbook with every detail laid out, rules for everything, even the approved font for emails. Sounds reassuring, right? But what if the second company only gives you 15 pages? And these pages say things like, act with integrity and use professional judgment. Which company would you rather work for? Company B's manual is maybe 15 pages. It's full of statements like, act with integrity, use professional judgment, always work in the company's best interests. On the surface, Company A seems more fair, more standardized. Rules are rules, right? But watch what happens. At Company B, employees spend hours agonizing over decisions. They're constantly asking themselves, am I aligned with the company spirit? But here's the catch. No one really knows what company spirit means. Everyone's guessing. And the rules are vague, yet somehow that's exactly what keeps the system running. Stay tuned, because this is where things get really interesting. They are exceptionally painfully cautious about anything that might smell even slightly controversial. At Company A, employees get creative. They learn to hunt for loopholes in the handbook. They find compliant but crafty paths to get what they want. They'll have loud, open arguments with the compliance department over the interpretation of Clause 42, subsection B. What you're seeing here isn't just a management style difference. It's a tale of two control systems, one that's transparent and one that's far more subtle. One relies on strict rules, while the other, it thrives on ambiguity. And the real power behind this system, you won't believe how it works. Keep watching to uncover the truth about how ambiguity becomes control. Today, we're deconstructing why, inside mature systems, deliberately keeping rules ambiguous isn't a management flaw. It's a sophisticated design feature. It's the system's ultimate tool for achieving deeper, cheaper, and more sustainable control. If your work environment has these fingerprints, you are already inside a rule ambiguity control field. 1. Air testing becomes a necessary step. Before you do anything non-routine, you don't just check the rules. You informally probe your boss, your colleagues, relevant departments. You're trying to sense where the invisible boundaries are. 2. The story you tell after the fact becomes more important than the permission you get before. Success isn't just about what you did. It's about your ability to construct a convincing narrative afterwards that fits organizational values or strategic intent. The rulebook doesn't have the answer. The answer lies in the narrative competition that follows. 3. You live in the eternal tension between the spirit and the letter. You're constantly told, don't be a robot. Understand the spirit behind the rules. But what that spirit is, who defines it, and when, that remains fluid, uncertain. 4. Reward and punishment cases feel non-replicable. The company might celebrate a team that boldly pursued a new opportunity or fire someone for a grave lapse in judgment. But when you try to use those cases as templates for your own actions, you find subtle contextual differences that make them impossible to directly apply. The examples exist, but their borders are blurry. You are not in chaos. You are in a state of carefully designed uncertainty. The true power of this system isn't about giving you clarity, it's about taking it away. The system doesn't give you the answers. It keeps the answers just out of reach. And the more you try to grab them, the more control it gains. What happens when you're always left in the dark? Keep watching, because the answer lies in the chaos. The system's choice to keep rules ambiguous isn't laziness. It's not incompetence. It's a cold calculation about control efficiency. Through ambiguity, it creates and manages three key systemic states. First, the transfer of predictability costs and the internal game. Clear rules outsource part of the right or wrong judgment to the rule book itself. This creates two costs. One, the system must spend a fortune building and maintaining a rule system that tries to cover infinite real-world scenarios. Two, people under clear rules play a rule optimization game. They use their smarts to maximize their own benefit within the rules, which might drift from the system's real goals. Ambiguous rules completely change the game. They reclaim judgment authority to the system's core, and they completely transfer the interpretation cost and the uncertainty cost onto you. Think about EU financial regulation. A principle that says marketing must be fair, clear, and not misleading causes more anxiety for a bank than a 50-page list of banned phrases. Like, the bank now has to spend massive resources on internal reviews, lawyers, risk anticipation, all to respond to a regulator who can at any time question any marketing material based on their own unilateral discretion. The system's control upgrades. It's no longer, are you breaking a known rule? It's, can you justify everything you do against an unknown standard? Your brain power shifts from finding loopholes to constant self-defense. Second, the maximization of deterrence. A clear penalty creates resistance. If you know stealing $5,000 means instant firing, you might stop at $49,999. The deterrent gets framed, diluted. Ambiguous rules keep deterrence infinite. A rule like, don't do anything against company interests, means anything. From fraud to a bad tweet can theoretically be punished, from a warning to termination. The system gains discretionary terror. It doesn't punish everything. It selects ritualistically. It makes an example of someone for maximum warning effect. In Hollywood, an actor can be shelved for a decade-old, vaguely controversial tweet. Another actor with a clearer legal issue gets a quick settlement. This isn't just injustice. It's a control technique. By creating a pervasive sense of uncertainty, it strengthens discipline across the entire industry. Third, perfect flexibility with built-in blame allocation. Systems need to be flexible. The world changes. Overly clear rules become shackles. Ambiguous rules are the perfect fix. They give principled authorization to act. We can do anything in the company's interest, but they reserve interpretive space for assigning blame later. It failed because you misunderstood the spirit of compliance. A Silicon Valley company expands with the guideline, be aggressive, but compliant. If it works, aggressive is brilliant innovation. If it fails, the blurry line of compliant tightens, and someone gets blamed for poor judgment. The system always stands on the high ground of post hoc explanation. It can push for risk to gain and precisely cut and assign blame to lose.